Introduction. Most guys think nicknames are just something you toss out casually, but the truth is, the right nickname can flip a switch in a woman's mind almost instantly. A good nickname makes her feel seen, adored, and emotionally connected to you in a way regular compliments never can. It creates a private little world between you and her, something playful, something intimate, something she won't forget. Women may not say it out loud, but they love when a man uses a nickname that feels authentic, affectionate, and just a little flirty. It shows confidence. It shows intention. And it shows that you see something special in her that no one else sees. In this guide, we're breaking down the 9 nicknames women secretly melt for, the ones that spark attraction, deepen connection, and make her associate you with warmth, excitement, and chemistry. Use them naturally. Use them sparingly, and watch how fast her energy toward you changes. 1. Nicknames create emotional intimacy. Nicknames are far more than cute labels or playful words. They are subtle emotional tools that can create intimacy, trust, and connection when used thoughtfully. At their core, nicknames signal that a relationship has moved beyond surface-level interaction and stepped into a space of familiarity and emotional closeness. When you give someone a nickname, you aren't just calling them something different. You're creating a private, personalized language that only the two of you share. This sense of exclusivity naturally builds attraction because people feel closest to those who make them feel seen, valued, and uniquely understood. A well-chosen nickname tells her, without needing to say it outright, "You matter to me in a special way." That emotional uniqueness is powerful. It makes conversations warmer, moments lighter, and the bond between you more meaningful. Nicknames also bypass logic and speak directly to the emotional brain. Even adults respond positively to affectionate, playful naming because it reminds them of comfort, safety, and positive childhood emotions. For women, especially, nicknames can trigger feelings of being cherished, protected, or adored, feelings that deepen connection and make interactions feel more personal. Over time, a nickname becomes tied to the experience she has with you. It carries memories, inside jokes, and emotional weight. This is why using the right nickname can instantly shift her mood, soften tense moments, or rebuild closeness during conflict. But nicknames only create intimacy when they feel authentic. Forced, generic, or overly sexual names too early can backfire, making her feel objectified or uncomfortable. Intimacy grows when the nickname reflects something true about her personality, energy, or the specific dynamic you share. For example, calling her Sunshine because she brightens your day, or Smarty because you genuinely admire her intelligence, feels far more meaningful than using generic pet names anyone could give. Personalization is what turns a simple word into emotional currency. Timing also matters. Introducing a nickname at the right moment, perhaps after a fun exchange, a shared challenge, or a genuine compliment, creates a natural transition to deeper connection. As the relationship grows, nicknames often evolve, becoming softer, more intimate, or more symbolic. Each shift marks a new stage of emotional closeness. What makes nicknames particularly powerful is that they encourage reciprocal vulnerability. When you use one, you subtly open the door for her to express affection back, whether through her own nickname for you or through warmer body language and tone. This mutual exchange strengthens the bond and builds emotional safety. Ultimately, nicknames create intimacy because they transform ordinary communication into something personal, memorable, and emotionally charged. They show intention and care, and they give her a unique identity within your world, a place where she feels accepted, appreciated, and emotionally connected. When used sincerely, nicknames are one of the simplest yet most effective ways to nurture attraction and deepen the emotional connection between you. 2. They make her feel seen and appreciated. When it comes to building genuine connection and deep attraction, one of the most powerful things you can do is make a woman feel truly seen and genuinely appreciated. This goes far beyond generic compliments or surface-level attention. Women feel an instant shift when they encounter someone who notices the details others overlook: her effort, her intentions, her emotional state, her quirks, and the subtle things that make her who she is. Most people hear her words, few actually listen. Most people acknowledge her presence. Few try to understand her world. When you show her that you're one of the few, you instantly stand out. Feeling seen is about recognizing her individuality, how she laughs, how she processes life, what energizes her, what overwhelms her, what she's passionate about, what she's insecure about, what she dreams of, and even the small things she does without expecting praise. It's the warmth of hearing, "I noticed that," especially when she didn't point it out herself. Appreciation, on the other hand, is the emotional reward that tells her she matters, not just generally but specifically to you. A woman who feels appreciated becomes more open, affectionate, and emotionally connected because she feels safe being her authentic self. Men who create this type of experience don't rely on cliches or predictable compliments. Instead, they observe her actions and speak to the intention behind them. "I love how much thought you put into things," or "I really admire the way you handle stressful situations." These kinds of remarks hit deeper because they validate who she is, not just what she looks like. Feeling seen is also about emotional presence, paying attention when she talks, remembering the things she tells you, noticing when her mood shifts, and responding with empathy rather than indifference. You don't have to fix everything for her. Just acknowledging her feelings already makes a profound impact. Women rarely meet someone who makes them feel understood without judgment, valued without conditions, and supported without being asked. When you consistently show her you're paying attention, not in a performative way, but in a genuine, quiet, steady way, you become the person she associates with emotional comfort and trust. Appreciation becomes especially powerful when it's connected to her efforts, her qualities, and her growth. Tell her the things she doesn't hear enough, that her kindness makes the world around her better, that her creativity inspires you, that her loyalty doesn't go unnoticed, that her goals matter even when she doubts herself. When you highlight her strengths and show gratitude for the things she brings into your life, you create a bond she doesn't want to lose. The real lesson is this: making her feel seen and appreciated isn't about grand gestures or poetic speeches. It's about consistent attention, sincere acknowledgement, and the willingness to understand her on a deeper level. People crave to be understood, but women especially crave to be recognized for their emotional labor, their goodness, and their uniqueness. When you give her that feeling, authentically and consistently, you don't just create attraction, you create emotional imprint. You become the person who makes her feel valued, respected, and irreplaceable. 3. Women love playful, warm energy. Women love playful, warm energy because it creates an atmosphere where they can relax, open up, and genuinely enjoy the moment without feeling judged or pressured. Playful energy isn't about acting childish or trying too hard to be funny. It's about expressing lightness, confidence, and emotional ease in a way that invites her into your world. When a man radiates warm energy, he shows that he's grounded, secure in himself, and comfortable in social interactions, which naturally draws women toward him. Playful warmth makes conversations flow, turns ordinary moments into memorable ones, and creates a sense of connection that feels effortless. Women are deeply responsive to the feeling a man gives them, and playful warmth gives them permission to let their guard down and experience real chemistry. It signals that you're not tense, needy, or overly serious, but instead someone who enjoys life and brings positive emotions into any interaction. When you smile genuinely, tease her lightly, maintain soft eye contact, and speak with an uplifting tone, she feels safe yet excited, like she's talking to someone who understands her emotional side without trying to manipulate it. Warm, playful energy also demonstrates emotional intelligence. It shows you can read the moment, stay present, and bring out the best in her. It ignites attraction because it mimics the way people behave when they're already close, laughing, teasing, leaning in, and this familiarity builds comfort. Women associate playful warmth with confidence, social awareness, and strong masculine presence, all traits that naturally spark attraction. It also interrupts the typical behavior most men fall into: being too serious, overly complimenting, or trying to impress her with logic or status. Instead, playful warmth flips the script and makes her want to impress you. It shifts the dynamic from interview mode to chemistry mode, where emotions lead instead of overthinking. This type of energy also gives her a preview of what it would feel like to be around you long-term: fun, relaxed, affectionate, and emotionally bright. Women crave emotional experiences, and a man who can spark joy and warmth instantly stands out from the crowd. Even shy or introverted women respond well to this energy because it helps them feel seen and included without being overwhelmed. Playful warmth also helps build tension in a natural, smooth way through subtle teasing, shared laughter, and moments of closeness that feel spontaneous rather than forced. It keeps interactions light but meaningful, showing her that you're not only confident but also emotionally mature enough to create joy for both of you. Most importantly, playful, warm energy shows that you are comfortable being yourself, which gives her permission to be herself too. This shared authenticity is the foundation of real attraction. When a woman feels good in your presence, bright, playful, relaxed, she instinctively wants more of you. That's why mastering this energy is one of the most powerful lessons in creating connection and attraction. 4. Nicknames work best when they fit her personality. Nicknames are powerful, but they only create attraction when they feel natural, personal, and aligned with who she truly is. The biggest mistake men make is thinking any cute name will work on any woman. In reality, the right nickname is less about the word itself and more about the meaning behind it. When a nickname fits her personality, it shows that you actually notice her, her energy, her style, her quirks, the way she carries herself, and the little details that most people overlook. Women respond to this because it makes them feel seen and appreciated for who they genuinely are, not just how they look. For example, calling a shy, gentle girl firecracker will feel forced, but calling her softe or little one might feel warm and authentic. Meanwhile, a confident, bold woman might love something playful like Captain, Ace, or Trouble because it matches her vibe. When your nickname aligns with her character, it becomes meaningful, it becomes hers. She associates it with the way you make her feel. This personal connection is what turns a simple word into an emotional trigger. A well-chosen nickname also creates a private world between the two of you. It becomes an inside signal that only the two of you share. The more the nickname reflects who she is, the more she feels bonded to you emotionally. It tells her, "I get you," without you having to say the words directly. And when she feels understood by you, attraction deepens naturally. Women fall for men who pay attention, not just to their beauty, but to their nature, their spirit, their habits, and the subtle things that make them unique. A fitting nickname proves you're paying attention on a deeper level. This is why nicknames that match her personality work better than generic compliments like beautiful, cute, or sweetheart. Those are fine, but they don't stand out. Anyone can say them. But when you give her a nickname that fits her perfectly, you immediately separate yourself from every other guy she knows. The key is to observe her and let the nickname arise naturally. What makes her laugh? What annoys her? What is she passionate about? How does she react to things? What is her natural energy? Soft, chaotic, confident, goofy, introverted, dramatic, flirty? Let your nickname reflect her essence. She'll adore it because it feels like you created something that belongs only to her. When you get this right, she won't just like the nickname. She'll crave hearing it from you. A personality-based nickname is a subtle form of intimacy, but a powerful one. When she hears it, she feels connected, appreciated, and special. And that emotional spark is what turns a casual connection into a magnetic one. 5. Authenticity, corniness. In a world filled with rehearsed lines, overused compliments, and predictable flirting tactics, nothing stands out more than authenticity. Authenticity to corniness isn't just a dating principle, it's a lesson in how real human connection works. Corny lines may get a laugh or a smile, but they rarely create genuine attraction because they feel recycled, impersonal, and disconnected from the present moment. Authenticity, on the other hand, communicates confidence, emotional intelligence, and self-assuredness. When you speak from a place of honesty instead of performance, you show that you value real connection more than approval. Women, especially, can instantly sense when a man is trying too hard to impress them with cliches. It doesn't feel flattering. It feels like he treats every girl the same. But when a man expresses himself in a grounded, sincere, and present way, it signals that he is selective, intentional, and genuinely curious about her, not about saying the right thing. Authenticity naturally triggers attraction because it conveys strength. You're not hiding behind borrowed lines, and you're not afraid to be yourself. Being authentic doesn't mean oversharing or being brutally blunt. It means showing up with real energy, your tone, your presence, and your intentions all aligned. For example, instead of relying on cheesy compliments like, "You're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen," a more authentic response might be, "I like your vibe, it's refreshing." This shift communicates confidence without exaggeration. It's grounded, specific, and tied to the moment. Authenticity also shows that you are emotionally calibrated. You aren't trying to manipulate someone's reaction with grand compliments, and you aren't desperate for validation. Corniness often stems from insecurity. People use scripted lines because they're afraid their real personality won't be enough. But authenticity says, "I trust myself. I trust my natural presence. I trust that who I am is already attractive." That mindset is magnetic. Furthermore, authenticity builds trust. Corniness creates a barrier because it feels performative, but authenticity builds a bridge because it invites openness. When you express yourself honestly, the other person feels safe to be honest too. This is how real chemistry forms, not through perfection, but through presence. Real connection comes from expressing real thoughts, asking meaningful questions, and being attuned to the moment. Attraction grows when two people feel they can be themselves without pretending. The truth is, women aren't drawn to men who act like characters. They're drawn to men who behave like real, grounded individuals with clear intention and emotional maturity. Authenticity also allows your humor, confidence, and charm to land naturally instead of feeling forced. When you show sincerity, clarity, and calmness, you become someone others can feel comfortable around. That comfort deepens into curiosity, and that curiosity turns into attraction. In every interaction, choose to be real, expressive, and connected to the moment, because authenticity will always outshine corniness. 6. Soft dominance is attractive when done right. Soft dominance is attractive because it blends confidence with emotional intelligence, creating a dynamic that feels both exciting and safe. Unlike aggressive or controlling dominance, soft dominance is all about presence, intention, and grounded masculine energy rather than force. It's the art of leading without demanding, guiding without pressuring, and inspiring trust without taking away someone's freedom. What makes soft dominance so powerful is that it shows a man who knows what he wants, but equally values how the woman feels. When a man uses soft dominance, he isn't trying to overpower her. He's trying to create a space where she can open up, relax, and feel desired. This style of leadership works because it's rooted in clarity, emotional steadiness, and a calm confidence that invites her into connection rather than pushing her into submission. Soft dominance becomes attractive when it's paired with consistency. A man who says what he means and means what he says instantly stands out. Women naturally feel drawn to someone who provides emotional direction, like initiating plans, taking the lead in conversations, or expressing desires clearly, but without being rigid or dismissive. She feels chosen and seen, not controlled. Soft dominance also involves attunement, reading her energy, respecting boundaries, and knowing when to pull her closer or give her space. This emotional intelligence is what transforms simple confidence into something magnetic. It tells her you're not just leading for your own ego, you're paying attention, matching her pace, and protecting the connection itself. Another reason soft dominance is so compelling is because it carries an element of mystery and tension. When a man takes the lead in subtle ways, like guiding her with a hand on the lower back, using a calm but firm tone, initiating deeper conversations, or making thoughtful decisions, he creates a sense of polarity. Polarity is the chemistry that arises when masculine and feminine energies balance each other, and soft dominance strengthens this effect without ever becoming harsh. She feels his steady energy, and instinctively leans into it. It lets her experience femininity more freely because she senses his stability. Furthermore, soft dominance's attractiveness depends on emotional safety. A woman can relax into a man's guidance only when she knows he respects her boundaries and genuinely cares about her comfort. When dominance comes from insecurity, ego, or a need to control, it becomes toxic and instantly loses its charm. But when it comes from self-assurance, kindness, and a desire to create a meaningful, connected experience, it becomes irresistible. It reassures her that she's with someone who is capable, grounded, and intentional, qualities that are universally attractive. Ultimately, soft dominance is attractive because it is leadership with warmth, strength with gentleness, and confidence with compassion. It's not about being the boss. It's about being the steady presence she can trust, the man who guides without forcing and protects without restricting. When done right, it makes a woman feel safe, energized, desired, and deeply connected, all at the same time. 7. Nicknames create positive association with you. Using the right nicknames is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to create a positive emotional association between you and a woman. Human emotions are deeply tied to the words we hear repeatedly, especially when those words come from someone we like or trust. When you give her a nickname that feels warm, playful, or meaningful, you're essentially creating a small mental shortcut that connects you to a pleasant feeling. Every time she hears that nickname, even in a different context, her mind automatically recalls how you make her feel. This is why certain nicknames instantly deepen rapport. They become emotional anchors. A well-chosen nickname communicates familiarity without being pushy, affection without being needy, and confidence without being arrogant. It transforms ordinary interactions into moments that feel more intimate and personal. Instead of addressing her like everyone else does, you give her a name that symbolizes a unique connection between the two of you. Psychologically, nicknames tap into the brain's reward system. They increase dopamine because they signal attention, acceptance, and closeness. People naturally crave these feelings, so they gravitate toward whoever provides them. When a woman feels you see something special in her, whether it's her personality, her spirit, or even something quirky she does, she begins to associate you with validation, comfort, and excitement. Over time, this positive association builds attraction almost effortlessly. But the magic lies in sincerity. A nickname only works if it feels authentic and matches her vibe. For example, a soft, nurturing woman responds better to something sweet like sunshine, while a confident, sharp woman might resonate more with boss lady or champ. When the nickname matches who she is, she feels understood, and that's rare. Also, nicknames create a subtle sense of insider language. It's like the two of you share your own little world that others aren't part of. This shared language builds a bond that feels exclusive and special, which is something women deeply cherish. Another important effect of nicknames is how they shape the energy of your interactions. A playful nickname brings fun. A flirtatious one adds tension. A meaningful one builds emotional connection. With just one word, you control the vibe without coming across as forced or artificial. Most men underestimate this. They think attraction happens through long conversations or impressive gestures. But often it's the small, repeated cues, the small touches of identity you give her that matter most. A nickname makes her feel chosen. It makes interactions with you stand out in her memory. And because women are incredibly emotional and associative thinkers, she'll begin linking your presence with positive feelings almost automatically. When that happens, she looks forward to your messages, your calls, and your presence. She smiles at her phone when she sees your name. She replays things you've said. And most importantly, she begins to feel that you are different from other men. That is the power of using nicknames intentionally. They make her feel special, and they make you unforgettable. 8. Timing matters more than the nickname itself. When it comes to creating attraction and emotional connection, most guys focus way too heavily on the actual nickname they use, baby, princess, cutie, or whatever trendy term they've heard in a video. But the truth is, the nickname itself isn't what triggers an emotional response. What really matters is when you say it. Timing is the invisible force behind a nickname's impact. A nickname used too early can feel forced, generic, or even cringe, while the exact same nickname used at the right moment can instantly deepen intimacy, create chemistry, and make her feel desired in a way that sticks. Think about it. If you call a woman beautiful 5 minutes after meeting her, it feels like you say that to every girl. But if you call her beautiful after she just opened up to you, laughed with you, or shared a vulnerable moment, it suddenly carries real emotional weight. That's because humans, especially women, attach meaning to context. A strategically timed nickname doesn't just describe her. It reflects the mood, the moment, and the connection already forming between you. That's what makes it powerful. Imagine you're teasing her during playful banter, and she fires back with a clever joke. Calling her trouble right then feels fun, earned, and connected. But calling her trouble randomly, with no emotional buildup, it falls flat. Or consider a moment when she's talking about something she's proud of, her career milestone, her personal growth, her hobbies. Calling her star or champ in that moment doesn't just compliment her, it acknowledges her effort, her story, her. That creates emotional resonance. Timing also communicates confidence and social intelligence. Women pay close attention to how well a man reads the moment. When you wait for the right emotional beat, when there's eye contact, a shared smile, a vulnerable pause, and then you deliver a soft, intimate nickname, it feels natural and smooth rather than needy or rehearsed. Good timing shows you're present, aware, and engaged. That's attractive. Another important factor is gradual escalation. Nicknames should evolve as the connection deepens. Early on, you should use playful or light teasing nicknames. As trust grows, shift to warm or affectionate ones. And only when you've built strong emotional or romantic tension should you introduce deeply intimate ones. This progression mirrors how genuine relationships develop, slowly, naturally, without jumping ahead. When you get the timing right, even a simple nickname becomes powerful. When you get it wrong, even the most perfect nickname feels awkward. So instead of memorizing a list of cute names, focus on reading her energy, noticing emotional opportunities, and choosing nicknames that match the moment. When the moment is right, the nickname becomes meaningful. And when the nickname becomes meaningful, the attraction becomes real. 9. Less is more. Don't overuse. In today's fast-paced world, where attention spans are short and information overload is constant, the principle of less is more has never been more relevant. This lesson is about understanding the value of restraint, moderation, and intentionality in everything we do, whether in communication, design, work, or personal expression. The concept of less is more emphasizes quality over quantity, impact over volume, and meaning over mere presence. Overusing anything, words, actions, resources, or even technology can dilute its effectiveness and, paradoxically, make it less powerful. When applied thoughtfully, this principle can enhance clarity, elegance, and overall effectiveness in both professional and personal settings. In communication, for instance, overusing words or embellishments often obscures the main message. People are more likely to respond to clear, concise, and deliberate language than to long-winded explanations. Think of a presentation, a social media post, or an email. Using fewer, more impactful words can make your message memorable and persuasive. The same applies to compliments or praise. Excessive flattery can feel insincere or even manipulative, whereas a well-timed, genuine compliment resonates much more. The principle is simple. Use it sparingly, and it becomes meaningful. Overuse, on the other hand, erodes trust and attention. In design and creativity, less is more is a guiding philosophy for decades. Minimalist design, whether in architecture, graphic design, or fashion, relies on restraint to create elegance and focus. Too many colors, fonts, or decorative elements overwhelm the senses and confuse the audience. In contrast, a design stripped to its essentials feels intentional, balanced, and visually powerful. The same applies to technology or features and products. Companies that pack too many functions into a single product often create complexity rather than convenience. By prioritizing simplicity, they enhance user experience, making the product more intuitive and enjoyable. Even in personal behavior and lifestyle, overuse diminishes impact. For example, people often overcommit themselves, trying to do too much or be everywhere at once. This can lead to burnout and ineffective performance. Similarly, overindulgence in anything, food, social media, or entertainment, reduces satisfaction and can create long-term negative consequences. By practicing moderation, we cultivate focus, appreciation, and a sense of control over our lives. The power of restraint teaches us that doing less, but doing it well, often produces better results than relentless excess. Ultimately, the lesson of less is more is a call for intentionality. It reminds us to evaluate what truly matters and to eliminate distractions, redundancies, and unnecessary complexity. It is about conserving energy, resources, and attention for what is truly important. By avoiding overuse, we allow the essential elements of our work, communication, and life to shine, creating deeper meaning and stronger impact. Less is not less valuable. In fact, it often carries more weight, more clarity, and more effectiveness. Embracing this principle is a lifelong practice that encourages focus, elegance, and precision, leading to outcomes that resonate far beyond superficial abundance.